Good afternoon from Thunder Bay, Ontario. I'm Mike Garbutt, the CEO of Clean Air Metals. I'm here to talk about our recent press release outlining some fantastic drill results from the Thunder Bay North, the Critical Minerals Project. Our first two holes, we intersected over on one of the holes, 51 meters, grading 4.92 platinum grams per ton, 4.66 grams per ton of palladium, 1.07% copper, and 0.55% nickel. And on the second hole, we intersected 31.4 meters of 4.22 grams per ton platinum, 4.04 grams per ton of palladium, 0.95 copper, and 0.56 nickel. Needless to say, these are fantastic results, and it reminds people of the polymetallic nature and potential that we have in this deposit. So we're very excited about both the grade and the continuity from both these intersections. But really, truly, what I'm going to try and explain is why they're so important. First, the holes are part of a 10-hole program that our new technical team put together. The program was designed to test the thesis that these high-grade pockets within the near surface area of the current deposit follow a flow pattern that are similar to alluvial gold deposits, and that we believe they're actually larger and potentially have improved continuity versus what we have in our 43101 indicated resource model. So the first two holes came in and successfully expanded that one zone that we were targeting. Some of the high-grade pods along strike in the lower current zone are part of the rest of the remaining drill program. But these holes provided, we'll call it proof of concept, that increasing the data density and some tighter drilling and putting some holes in some strategic locations can improve the continuity and the high-grade mineralization within this deposit, and could potentially contribute to increased tonnage and grade. So, very exciting part. Secondly, we have a 14 million ton resource between the current and escape deposit, and as I mentioned, we're polymetallic, significant platinum, palladium, copper. But it's a big deposit. There's two different deposits, but because of the location of this drilling and these results, and potentially these other 8 holes, increasing the size and potentially the grade of these areas, they're near surface, and they form the first part of what could be a potential operation, some early mining, and so certainly could improve the economics by improved early cash flow and low capital intensity. Not a very long ramp to get to these areas, which fits nicely into our model. We want a low tonnage, high grade, low capital cost mine with potentially a toll milling agreement that would form the basis of a future PEA. And lastly, the presence of massive sulfides can't be understated. We intersected 0.97 meters of massive sulfides with some outstanding grades in that first hole. Although they're in minimal quantities in this deposit, they carry a significant amount of grade, and they also demonstrate the potential for our deposits to host additional massive sulfide. Every time we intersect it, we get a little more excited, but it's a little bit of a vector for continued exploration work, and we need to identify a feeder zone for this material. So what's next? We are waiting on assays for the last 8 holes from this program. We've hit a mineralization in all of those holes, but we're waiting on those assays. Once we have that information, we're going to refine this exploration template and put together a phase 2 program that would include a downhole geophysics component on some continued high-grade areas within the current deposit. But beyond that, to further de-risk the project, we are contemplating a move to advanced exploration, which would be highlighted by a bulk sample, generally in this area, that would allow us to test the toll milling potential of the deposit for future production opportunities. So with that, I'll ask listeners to pay attention to what we're trying to do. Pay attention to our newsfeed. We are a rare primary platinum play outside of South Africa, and I believe we have an exciting future ahead. So thank you for listening.